Let's be real. We're living in the golden age of terrifying dads, alien warlords, psychotic patriots, so many capes, so little therapy. But standing tall or flying ominously above everyone else are two of the most dangerous supermen in fiction. Omni-Man, Homelander, two loving fathers, two national icons, two men who've definitely killed someone while smiling. But in a one-on-one fight, one only walks away. And spoiler alert, it's not even close. This is Omni-Man versus Homelander, and you're watching FFC, where we dive deep into fictional throwdowns that will probably end in civilian casualties. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start with a little background. Homelander is the crown jewel of Vought International, a genetically engineered superhero raised in isolation, molded into the face of American power. He was made in a lab, trained like a dog, and sold to the public like a product. Underneath the charm and cape, he's a broken child with god-tier abilities and absolutely zero moral compass. Now, Omni-Man, aka Nolan Grayson, is a member of the Viltrumite Empire, an alien species bent on universal domination. He came to Earth under the pretense of protection, but really, he was a sleeper agent, prepping the planet for conquest. He married a human, raised a half-human son, and then, in one of the most traumatic scenes in animated history, tried to beat that son into submission using the face of a subway full of civilians. Father of the year, right? I don't think so. Let's talk powers. Homelander is basically a twisted take on Superman. He can fly, shoot lasers from his eyes, has super strength, near invulnerability, and enhanced senses. He snapped nets like twigs, vaporized people with a glance, and flown faster than the human eye can track. We've seen him casually stop a plane from crashing wait, no, that's right, he didn't. Thanks, Season 1. That failure aside, he has crushed steel doors, shredded bodies, and lifted tanks, and his heat vision is strong enough to slice anyone in half instantly. But here's where the cracks show. Homelander gets hurt. Soldier Boy blasted him and made him bleed. Queen Maeve gave him a run for his money, even stabbing him in the ear with a basic weapon. Mentally, he's a mess. He's insecure, needy, emotionally volatile. He doesn't fight to win, he fights to be loved. And when he loses control, he doesn't get stronger, he breaks down. Omni-Man is a whole other tier. He's lifted battleships, destroyed alien planets, and flown through entire armies like they were tissue paper. He fought the Guardians of the Globe, Earth's top heroes, and soloed them in minutes. He turned the immortal into a headless corpse, twice. He stopped an asteroid large enough to wipe out a continent with his bare hands. No lasers, no gadgets, just fist and attitude. Then there's the time he flew through an alien civilization's planet-wide defenses, exterminated them in less than a day, then made it back home in time for dinner like nothing happened. Oh, and remember that subway scene? That wasn't him losing control. That was him proving a point. He weaponized his own son's body to make a lesson stick. Homelander flips out when people don't clap. Omni-Man flips over mountains. Let's talk speed. Homelander flies fast, hypersonic fast. He can cross cities in seconds and react to bullets and threats at close range. But Omni-Man caught Red Crush, the speedster of his universe, mid-flurry. That's like catching the Flash mid-punch. He moves from Earth to orbit in seconds. He creates sonic booms with casual movement. In close quarters combat, he blitzes superpowered enemies before they can even blink. Winner, Omni-Man. no debate when it comes to speed. Homelander tanks bullets, explosions, and car crashes. He once took a full-powered hit from Soldier Boy and walked it off. Barely. But he does bleed, and when things get dicey, he usually avoids head-on confrontation. Omni-Man, he's taken nuclear strikes, alien claws, kaiju beatdowns, and entire teams of super beings wailing on him. And the man didn't even stop to breathe. There's an entire montage of Nolan shrugging off damage that would turn Homelander into soup. This is the real gap though. Homelander is emotional. He's angry, fragile, and desperate for validation. He wants the crowd to cheer. He needs to be seen as a god. But deep down, he's scared of people not loving him. He hesitates, he spirals. Omni-Man is cold, calculated, and brutally efficient. He's a soldier bred to conquer planets. He doesn't grandstand. He doesn't monologue about being a god. He just kills, completes the mission, and flies off to the next planet. Let's scale. Homelander is the strongest being on his Earth, but his Earth is kind of grounded. The strongest opponents are other suits, the occasional drug-enhanced soldier or an exploding grandpa. Omni-Man comes from a universe with interstellar war, alien tech, global threats, and literal gods. He scales far above even the strongest beings in his world, and he does it consistently. Alright, face to face, no prep, no distractions, just a straight up brawl. Homelander throws the first punch. Omni-Man doesn't flinch. He lets Homelander monologue and then rips his jaw off mid-sentence. That's the level we're talking about. Homelander's powers are impressive in his world, but against Omni-Man, they're child's play. In every category, strength, speed, durability, combat experience, and mental resilience, Omni-Man dominates. Now, what if we did boost Homelander? Let's say he trained under Viltrumites. Let's say he had proper combat experience. Let's even give him full emotional control and maxed out laser vision. Would it make a difference? Maybe. He'd last a few minutes longer. But here's the thing. Omni-Man isn't a pig version of Homelander. He's a different species entirely. He's from a culture that eats threats like Homelander for breakfast. Even if you maxed out Homelander's stats, Omni-Man still has the edge in fighting IQ, experience, and ruthless instincts. So here's the truth. This isn't a Superman versus Superman battle. This is Superman versus Zod. If Zod had 10,000 years of battle experience and zero moral hesitation. Homelander is terrifying, but Omni-Man is inevitable. It's not even the context. Omni-Man wins. Flawlessly, brutally, every single time.